Hey everyone, it's Rachel with Rachel's Wig Reform. Today I want to talk about that disappointment we feel when we get a new wig. Now, I'm not talking about the disappointment like, ooh, this color is not going to work for me, or once you put the wig on, you realize that style isn't going to work for you. I'm talking about that disappointment of when you watched all the reviews on a certain wig, you looked at all of the pictures, you did all the research you could do, and you ordered this wig. It gets to you, you put it on your head, and you honestly look in the mirror and just think, what the hell is this? I mean, that's the reality. I have put wigs on like that before. Like, did an animal explode in the box and now I'm putting it on my head? Because this looks absolutely nothing like the pictures. It happens. And I just received a wig that looks like the pictures, but the style and everything when I put it on, it's very overwhelming. Now for me, I can look at this and say, I can fix this. I can get this to look like the pictures. But for some of you, you may not even begin to know how to start that process. I know I didn't. The very first wig that I ever bought at a wig boutique, I put it on, I liked it at the boutique, but then when I got home, I was like, what is this? And what do I do with it? How do I fix it? I had no clue, or even the things that I could do to a wig to help fix it. So let's talk about the wig that I just received. It is Rae by Rene of Paris in the color Ice Blonde. Before I put it on, let's talk about what I'm wearing here. This is Heidi by Jon Renau in the color Venice Blonde. Also, be sure that when you are watching my videos, you hit the description box and you expand it, because I put all types of links in there to the different products and things that I talked about in my video, and you can find that information there. Also, make sure you follow me on Rachel's Facebook page. There is before and after pictures there, which is going to be a lot of them for this next wig. And I'll attach the link for those right in the description box. But there's a lot of pictures and different things that I post there. And also there is a private message option on that Facebook page, and you're more than welcome to message me with any questions that you might have. So let's talk about Rae by Rene of Paris. This is kind of a shorter, like chin, just above chin length bob with some slight curl to it. The pictures look adorable. Some of the reviews I saw looked adorable. The back came to me, and this feels a little more than what the pictures look like, but I can fix it. The inside of her cap is, she has a small mono part, and then she just has a lace front across there. Rene of Paris has these type of adjusters in the back. And what I never like is I always feel like these little pieces here are sticking out. So what I'll have to do is once I get this set to where I want it to be, I'll probably run like a stitch through there to hold that there. Because I just always feel like these are sticking out of the bottom of my wig. All right, this Ice Blonde is a really pretty color. It's very ashy. It's a dark blonde, and then it kind of just blends out into some brighter tips. It's a very pretty color. Let's put her on. Okay. Now, one of the things when you do purchase a wig that you have to remember is what their return policy is. If you are not allowed to brush the wig, shake the wig, or do anything with it, make sure you don't. Else otherwise, it won't qualify for a return. Okay. Here it is. I would say this is out of the box ready. Not. And this is the disappointment that I'm talking about. When you get it and you look at this and you think, gosh, it's ugly. Well, I put it on And I didn't touch the part. I didn't shake it. I never brushed it. I just kind of would run my fingers through it and start to look at the movement of the wig and decided I can get this to look like the pictures. Let me do a 360 for you. What I struggle with on this wig is what belongs to the side and what belongs to the back. Because sometimes these longer pieces look like they go to the back, but then they come to the front too. It's an interesting one. Here's the back. And back to the front again. Now in the pictures, the back looked like this area was shorter and a little tighter cut. It's much longer than what I was expecting. All right, so where do we start with the process of getting this to work? First thing is the back. I'm going to cut the nape. I do have videos on my on my YouTube channel that show how to cut the nape of a shorter wig, and I'm going to follow those same procedures to do it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my hands moving through it. Now you can take this wig off and you can shake it, or you can kind of do this just to get those fibers loosened up. God only knows how long this has been in the box. And based on this right here, that's some box hair right there. You know what? I'm going to talk about something real quick with this. Here's what I don't like about this wig. They talk about how they put in the lighter pieces around the hairline to help blend the knots. They do not do a very good job of that. I do not care for this chunky stripe. It's not done well. I don't care for that. This reminds me of the over highlighting we did in like the early 2000s, I think it was. I don't know. But I don't like that. It's like, okay, here's my big chunk. Here's my big chunk. Why didn't you distribute this more throughout the front? So when I pluck my part and hairline, I'm going to be plucking some of that out. I don't want that there. I don't care for that. So now that we got that out of the way, we don't need big stripes. We want a blended front. So if you're going to do it just a little bit better. That's just my opinion. That's one thing about my page is I'm going to give honest opinion. Even if they sent this to me for free, which they didn't, but if they did, I would say that. Okay, so I'm getting this loosened up a little bit and getting these curls and stuff. Now I want to get the part. Let's get that zigzag part out of there. I never care for that zigzag part. Where's the mono part? It's not a very big mono part, so I gotta make sure I'm parting it on the part. And sometimes when you first part it, it's still gonna look like the zigzag. Sometimes it takes a couple times to start to get that out of there. And see how that just doesn't. So right here is where that part goes to. And so this becomes all of your basic cap back in here. But even though I took the zigzag part out of there, or tried to, it's still showing a little bit. That part still looks really fake. And that's why I will pluck that out. I'm going to get my smaller comb if I can find it. Whenever I want to find something, I can't. And well, oh, here we go. Sometimes I just need a smaller comb to get in there and make that part a little less zigzaggy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That was okay. All right. The bedhead part of this, That is going to go away when I put some water on it or wash it. That will start to get better for me. This piece right in here, these are one of those pieces that you're just going to really have to work with to make it lay right. But once I start plucking this out, this is going to get better. And I'm going to grab my tweezers and I'm going to do some plucking on camera. People ask me, where do you get your tweezers? I actually got them on Macy's for a free gift when I purchased some products. You can buy them at Macy's still in a set. Now mine came in this like rose gold and pink. Right now I only see that black is the color that's available. And I think they're $15. But I like them because you get 3 pairs. You get one that has the flat. I'm so lost on my camera here. The flat tip. Then you get one with the angled tip. And then you get this little tiny one, which sometimes I really like going in and pulling out some of those knots that are a little too there. All right, so plucking this out, find where I'm at here. This is always harder on camera, on camera. One day I'll find a setup that I'll be able to see a mirror more and not just using my camera or my phone. And I have noticed that some wigs, depending on the brand, their parts are harder to pluck. Like Jon Renau Estetica, I have no issues going in and plucking out a part. But some of these fibers are just can be really in there. And I want to get this opened up. Let me get my comb, brush through it a little bit. Let's go back at it just a little bit more. I will probably do more plucking off camera to get it exactly how I want it. But I literally want it to open up so that I can see that mono lace in there. And this one is just one of those that will take a little more work. I don't know why some brands are like that. They just are. Not a big deal. I will get it plucked out. All right, now, where'd my little comb go again? Okay. Now I just want to make sure that I've got, I feel like I want some of this to go to this side. Do I? No. That piece is going to go over there. Okay. So I'm just talking to myself. All right, let's go into that hairline just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to start pulling some of this blonde out. I don't want that thickness of blonde there. And I know I'm going fast, but I'm really only taking a couple pieces out at a time. I'm not grabbing a ton of hair. And now I want to go along this hairline here. The lace front only goes to right here, so there's not a whole lot to pluck at. And you never just pluck right at the hairline. You always go back in just a little bit too. There, do you see how that's looking less streaky? It's still a little streaky, but it's not a skunk stripe anymore. So I want to take some out right here. know why they do that. And I think I said this is an Ellen Villa, and if I did, that's wrong. It's Rene of Paris. I feel like at some point in this video I said Ellen Villa, and if I did, I apologize. All right, there. See, I'm liking that more. It's still too flippin' skunky, but then it's like this piece doesn't even know what to do with itself. So you know what? That's going to eventually become some baby hairs for me. Problem solved. Not going to worry about it anymore. Let me see if I can separate this part a little bit more up here at the hairline. And also when you do the part, it's not just about going down the part area. You also kind of go in just a little bit too and pluck some of these pieces out on each side, just to make sure that the pluck is, or not the pluck, the part, if you just pluck down the center, then you're gonna just start to get like kind of poofy on each side. So when you pluck down here, then kind of do a little bit into each side. All right, let's get into this. If you ever had a piece of hair in your face and you can't find it, you're like, I can feel it, but why can't I find it? It's like walking through a cobweb. It's so frustrating. Okay, so I'm gonna get up in here and I wanna pull out this blonde. It's too much. It's overwhelming. So now I'm back a little farther into the hairline, like right here's the lace, and you can see I'm back up in here plucking. You can't just pluck the front, because all you'll do is keep moving the hairline just back farther. The point of plucking the hairline is to make it look more jagged, not so straight across. And if you just keep going straight across, all you're going to do is get a thinner hairline that's going to start receding back. So you got to sort of get in there and get to the back side of it just a little bit to make it look better. Still way too much blonde up in here. And once I cut the lace and I put the baby hairs in, this white will it will diminish more. I tell you one thing, when I'm wearing my Fitbit and I'm plucking out a part or a hairline, I'll all of a sudden get these notifications of how many steps I took. And I'm like, man, I haven't moved. All I've done is plucked a hairline or a part. This will probably be a long video. I'm going to try to show beginning to end as much as possible. There we go again with hair in my face, but I can't find out. I can't see where it is. I'm going to pluck some more. I'm going to do a little more and then I will finish it off camera. And remember, you might be looking at this right now and saying, gosh, I like right where it's at right now. And if this was your wig, then I would say stop plucking. You achieved that. But if it's not, keep going until you got the result that you want. And just do a little at a time. Because really, not that much, even though I'm like really going fast with the tweezers, not that much is actually coming coming out. But see how that doesn't look as skunk stripe as before. Let me get some of these loose pieces out of here. Now the back is still going to be something that I'm going to do once I get the wig off and I put it onto a mannequin head. That's a little softer in there. The part I'm going to open up a little bit more too. So I'm starting to see the style of this wig coming out more. Another thing that I use is my hot air brush. Again, look for this in the description. It comes with attachments, but I like to take the attachments off and just use this as my blow dryer. Of course, you can also just use a blow dryer, but I lost mine. I don't know what happened to it. It's just not here anymore. I had this happen with a toaster before too. Like literally, where'd my toaster go? Don't know, but that's besides the point. I will put on some heat and I will use this to help redirect the fibers that are like too crazy. They're falling in your face. Just add a little bit of heat to it. All right, it's starting to progress. This is a little heavy. Now, when I'm feeling a bang that has a little too much weight to it, there's two places you want to check. Is it heavy here or is it heavy at the root? And I am feeling some permatease up in here. Because if it's heavy here, this is where I'm going to want to take the thickness out of. But if it's heavy here, I want to get my thinning shears up into that hairline a little bit and take that bulk out of there. I don't want to just go here because then I'm going to make this thinner, but this is still bulkier. So try to see where that heaviness is. Is it here at the root or are you feeling it at the ends? And wigs are all different. Alessandra from Jon Renau, what I found with her after I cut her a little bit is I used the thinning shears right on the ends because it was too heavy at the bottom, but the top was fine. So find where it is heavy and that's where you want to remove the bulk. Now I feel it heavy up here at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up. I'm just going to take my thinning shears and I'm going to go in. God only knows what my dog's barking at out there. And I'm just pulsing a little bit at that hairline and brushing it out to take the heaviness out at the root area. And again, you just keep repeating this process until you get it where you want it to be. Okay. Some people will want it to be thicker and a little fuller, and other people will prefer it to be, snarl. Let me read. Now I'm dropping everything. And some people want it to be a little less, some people want it bulky, some people want it a little more thinned out. This right now is not bulk, so make sure, this is box hair, so make sure you're not thinning something out that doesn't need to be thinned. But what I'm feeling with the front here, with this bang, Feeling some heaviness right here. So I'm going to go in and take some bulk out of there. And I never close the scissors all the way down. Okay, I feel like this piece is overwhelming and it's just going to give me fits. This is a little thick right here too. We have our windows open today because it's so nice. There, this side is starting to become more like the picture. Cute, just a slight bob with a little angle with some curl in it. Nothing major for a curl. And it's not so dominant with that stripe. Still a little thick right here. I'm gonna try to get this video done under 30 minutes. Yeah, that's that. Okay, I'm starting to like this side a lot better. So this side here, I feel like sorry, I'm just looking at this here and thinking, what do I want to do with this? And where it is that I think all right, let's see here. I'm going to pull this over and I'm going to take some of this extra little bit just right there. And I'm going to use my thinning shears. What I'm doing is just adding some face framing to it. And the farther you pull it across, the longer it's going to be. So always start with pulling it over to the side as much as possible. Because remember, you can always cut off more. Still a little overwhelming right here. And I'm trying to figure where I want that. I think I want it right here. Then I want to thin it a little. And I'm going to say the length is little too much here. Let me pull this down. I'm just going to take a little bit of this edge off. And I'm using my thinning shears with all of it because it doesn't give it a blunt cut then. All right, it's starting to come together. So This is looking a little more like the actual wig. It has some box hair here that has to get fixed. There's probably a little bit more thinning through here that I'm going to have to do. And I'm going to do some more plucking, and I'm also going to get rid of more of this white stripe up in there. And then I'm going to put her on a mannequin head and trim up the back. I think I want to face frame this just a little bit. All right, so it is coming together. And off camera, basically what you're gonna not see me do is repeat these same methods that I have done here on camera. What I'm going to do though now is go and finish it in my mirror so I can see better and fine tune the little tiny pieces that need to be fixed. I'm going to trim up the back, and then I will just probably do some heat to move these fibers just a little bit more of how I want them to be. And that should round out the end of this wig. Please make sure you follow the Rachel's Wig Reform Facebook page, because you are going to see those before pictures and then the after pictures of it. Okay, so this is probably one of the wigs that takes a lot of reforming, but it can be done. And even a stylist can help you out with some of these modifications. All right, follow me on the Facebook page. Look for my before and after pictures. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and we will talk with you soon.